According to the latest estimates from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, over 381,399 Californians were experiencing homelessness. This number represents a concerning 14% increase from the previous year, and paints a stark picture of the state's social and economic challenges. Despite having only around 12% of the U.S. population, California accounts for a whopping 29% of the country's homeless individuals. This translates to a per capita rate of homelessness that is one of the highest in the nation. Over two-thirds, roughly 223,423 people sleep on the streets, in encampments, or in vehicles. This number is a stark reminder of the harsh realities faced by many Californians. According to Kids data, over 189,000 public school students in California experienced homelessness during the 2021-22 school year. This translates to a staggering 3.8% of all enrolled students. Demographics of homelessness in California. Black Californians face the starkest disparity, though only comprising roughly 5% of the state's population. Black Californians made up over 25% of those who sought help from homeless service providers in the 2022-23 fiscal year. Latinx Californians are another significantly impacted group. The rise in Latinx homelessness is particularly alarming. From 2020 to 2022, the number of unhoused Latinx Californians increased by a significant 22%, compared to a 6.2% increase for the total homeless population, according to the 2023 point-in-time count. A staggering 44% of those experiencing homelessness identify as Latinx. Conversely, white and Asian American Californians are underrepresented in the homeless population. Data suggests white homelessness in California might be around 20%. Single adults make up the vast majority, constituting roughly 80% of the homeless population. Families with children represent around 14%. Highlighting the vulnerability of young people in these circumstances. Youths facing homelessness on their own, often referred to as unaccompanied youth, account for the remaining 7%. Age is another critical aspect. Over 40% of homeless individuals in adult-only households are over 50 years old. This demographic may face financial and medical emergencies later in life, leaving them with limited support systems and social safety nets. Cost of homelessness in California. California has begun to address homelessness through various programs. The 2023-24 budget allocated over $5 billion for housing and homelessness initiatives. This funding supports permanent supportive housing, which combines stable accommodation with social services. The 2021-22 state budget dedicated $8.2 billion to homelessness initiatives. However, questions arise about effectiveness. Dividing this sum by the estimated homeless population at that time, about 381,399, yields a cost of nearly $42,000 per person. California Interagency Council on Homelessness revealed that between 2018 and 2021, the state spent $9.6 billion with limited success. There's also the cost of inaction. Estimates suggest that ending homelessness in California by 2035 could require an investment of $100 billion over a dozen years. Finding $8.1 billion annually requires a unified political will and innovative funding strategies. Additionally, California faces a critical shortage of affordable housing units. California has spent a stunning $17.5 billion trying to combat homelessness over just 4 years. A total of $20.6 billion has been allocated through 2024 to combat homelessness. Nearly $6 billion went to local governments to spend on anti-homelessness initiatives. $3.7 billion went to a program called Project Homekey, which also funds local governments. Additionally, the billions of dollars allocated by Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego represent a substantial effort to combat a complex issue. While the exact figures may vary, each city dedicates substantial resources, exceeding $1.6 billion annually in Los Angeles and San Francisco, and reaching hundreds of millions in San Diego to tackle this complex issue. These funds address a wide range of needs, from providing basic necessities like food and sanitation, Here's a list of the 5 most homeless cities in California. 5. San Diego. The point-in-time count conducted by the Regional Task Force on Homelessness. This count, conducted in 2023, documented a 10% increase in homelessness countywide since 2020. The 2022 count for the city of San Diego specifically revealed 42,494 homeless individuals. The survey found 49% homeless were white. Black or African Americans make up only around 5.5% of San Diego County's general population, but they constitute over 5 times that proportion, over 28% among the homeless population. Similarly, Native American and Pacific Islander communities are also significantly overrepresented, experiencing homelessness at twice and 2.5 times the expected rates respectively. While Latinos comprise a larger portion of the general population, around 34%, they are still slightly underrepresented in official homeless counts, around 30%. 4. Sacramento. The 2023 PIT count estimated a staggering 57,278 people experiencing homelessness in Sacramento County, reflecting a substantial 67% increase since 2019. This data highlights a troubling trend. Homelessness is not a static problem, and Sacramento is seeing a year-over-year rise in its unsheltered population. Black and Native American residents in Sacramento are disproportionately represented in the homeless population, according to the 2023 point-in-time count by Sacramento Steps Forward. A staggering 31% of the homeless population identified as Black, whereas only 11% of the general Sacramento County population belongs to this race. This translates to Black people being 3 times more likely to be homeless compared to the general population. Similarly, Native American or Alaskan Native people experience homelessness at an even higher rate. They make up 7% of the homeless population, while only constituting 2% of the overall county residents. This means Native Americans are 4 times more likely to be homeless than the general population. White residents are underrepresented in Sacramento's homeless population. At 46%, they make up a smaller portion of the homeless population, compared to their 63% share of the general population. 3. Oakland. The most recent data available comes from a 2022 report, which indicates Oakland's homeless population surpassing 65,000 individuals. Looking at broader trends, a 2019 Alameda County homeless count estimated a figure closer to 69,759, encompassing Oakland and the surrounding area. This highlights the regional nature of the problem. It's important to note that this number only captures those experiencing homelessness on a single night, potentially underestimating the true scope of the problem. Homelessness disproportionately impacts Black residents, while constituting only 23% of the general population. Black individuals make up a staggering 70% of the city's homeless population, according to the 2019 point-in-time count. 2. San Jose. According to the 2022 point-in-time count, San Jose has an estimated 76,739 homeless individuals. This number reflects an 11% increase from 2019. However, there's a crucial detail within this statistic. The unsheltered homeless population, those living on streets, rivers, or in tents, showed a 2% decrease. Conversely, the number of sheltered homeless individuals, those in temporary housing or shelters, saw a significant rise of 25%. White residents, who make up a larger portion of the general population, around 29%, are significantly underrepresented among the homeless. Latinos and Blacks, constituting only 27% and 2.5% of the general population respectively, make up a staggering 44% and 17% of the homeless population. Native Americans is another overrepresented group, constituting less than 1% of the general population, but nearly 7.5% of the homeless. Conversely, non-Hispanic whites and Asian Americans are significantly underrepresented in the homeless population, compared to their presence in the general community. 1. Los Angeles. According to the 2023 Greater Los Angeles Homeless Count, conducted by the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, an estimated 155,518 people were experiencing homelessness on any given night in the county. This represents a 9% increase from the previous year, and a troubling continuation of an upward trend. The city of Los Angeles itself saw a 10% rise, with an estimated 96,260 people experiencing homelessness. According to the 2023 Los Angeles homeless count, Black people make up around 34% of the homeless population in Los Angeles County, while only constituting roughly 8% of the overall population. This means Black Angelenos are 4 times more likely to be homeless compared to their white counterparts, according to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority's 2023 homeless count. Nearly 20% of the unsheltered homeless population in Los Angeles County is white. Homeless encampment bans in California. California, with its high cost of living, faces a significant challenge in addressing homelessness. One proposed solution: a statewide ban on homeless encampments, has sparked heated debate. Proponents argue for increased public safety and hygiene, while opponents raise concerns about criminalizing homelessness and the lack of available housing alternatives. Senate Bill 1011, introduced in early 2024, aimed to replicate the recent ordinance passed in San Diego. This ordinance prohibits encampments near schools, parks, and transit hubs, citing a decrease in the homeless population in those areas. However, the California Senate Public Safety Committee rejected the bill in April 2024. Supporters of the ban highlight the public health and safety concerns associated with large encampments. San Diego's reported success in reducing the visible homeless population is seen as evidence for its effectiveness. They argue that designated safe camping sites offer a more controlled and sanitary alternative to street encampments. Opponents argue that such bans simply move the homeless problem out of sight, not out of existence. They point out that criminalizing homelessness pushes people further into the margins, making it harder for them to access services and resources. The crux of the debate lies in the lack of affordable housing options. Critics argue that without a significant increase in shelters and permanent supportive housing, a ban simply displaces homeless individuals without addressing the root cause of the problem. They propose focusing resources on creating pathways out of homelessness, such as job training and mental health services. Life on the streets. The golden light of California sunsets mocks Elena as much as it warms the tourist-laden beaches. Hers is a story far removed from the postcard version, a tale etched in the harsh realities of homelessness. Elena wasn't always adrift. A single mother to a bright-eyed 7-year-old named Sophia, she once held a steady job as a waitress. But a series of misfortunes, a car accident, a mounting medical bill, and a ruthless landlord conspired to unravel her carefully constructed life. The rent became an impossible burden, and eviction notices arrived with a sickening regularity. With nowhere else to turn, Elena and Sophia found themselves on the unforgiving streets. Their days are a constant scramble for survival. Nights are spent huddled under a thin sheet, the roar of traffic a haunting lullaby. Food comes from charity kitchens and the kindness of strangers, a constant source of worry and uncertainty. Elena's biggest fear isn't the gnawing hunger or the bone-chilling nights. It's the constant threat to Sophia's well-being. The ever-present danger on the streets. The lack of access to hygiene and proper schooling. These are constant battles. Yet Elena fights on, her fierce love for Sophia a shield against despair. Sophia, however, is too young to understand the complexities of their situation. The sparkle in her eyes dims a little with each passing day. Elena aches to give her daughter the normalcy of a roof over her head, a place to call home. Elena's story isn't unique. California, despite its wealth and sunshine, grapples with a burgeoning homeless population. Many like Elena are working poor, victims of circumstance thrust into a desperate situation. There's a fierce determination in Elena's voice as she speaks of her dream. A small apartment, a place where Sophia can play safely, and a chance for them to rebuild their lives. Her story is a stark reminder that behind the statistics lie real people, mothers like Elena, clinging to hope for a future where the California dream isn't just for the privileged.